So.
But we can tell everybody what we usually say, which is that this is just a parody, and that nobody's promoting anything that should be considered illegal. Sure. But we also hope that you fight to get it legal.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's very honest. Yeah, that's very legalese honest, I guess.
Legalese. I'm all about legalese. You know, I was thinking I was recently watching, and I still follow all the cryptocurrency shit, guys. Yeah. And they're talking about do you guys know what a black swan event is?
No.
Have you ever heard that term before? I never heard it either until how they described what happened in March of last year when they announced, like, America was like, we're going to have to go in lockdown. Yeah. COVID's a real problem. And the markets crashed. And they called that a black swan event. So I guess it's like something that is going to, like, it's going to be catastrophic financially, I guess, is because this is the financial industry. And it's not just crypto. I've also heard, sorry, I'm slightly sure. Like, not crypto, all of, like, America. So they're going to have some kind of, and one guy was talking about, sorry, this gets into stuff, but I'm thinking about the whole world. And so, but, you know, monetarily, that's a big thing, right? So they're talking about a black swan event happening, the financial world, because they have insider knowledge, talking about the next 2 or 3 months, sometime in the fourth quarter, having a black swan event that's going to be, again, I don't know if it's going to be like lockdowns again for America, what do you think about that? What do you think about that in America if they had like another lockdown?
What do I think if they had one?
Yeah, do you think that they'd actually do it? I think America wouldn't be able to handle it from what I see in the news. Like, I don't think anybody would be able to. I think there'd be like real, shit, fights in the street.
I mean, I think parts of the country could handle it better than others.
Sure.
Well, I think New York would be fine.
How do they do with the mandated vaccine shit? Sorry.
So check this out. I went to a concert last night, and the concert you had to show proof of vaccination, or proof of a negative test, and they were also rapid testing people who wanted to go to the show. They were rapid testing them right there and giving them like a clearance. So
that's good.
Yeah, and there were like 40,000 people at the show yesterday.
40,000.
It was insane, dude.
Wow. Well, it was Dead and Company, which is, I mean, that the audience has kind of a varied political leaning. You know what I mean? Like they're those fans
are
all
over the map.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a good metric for, like, I don't know. I think more people are talking about people not handling it than would actually be able to not handle it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think another lockdown would be rough, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would trigger civil war.
No.
You know.
No. I don't know that either. I wouldn't say that either. But I don't. You know, the reason why I ask is I was watching, and it made me think about the show too. Was like I was watching this thing on YouTube, and I forgot the name. It's like one of those ones when you draw. It's the most famous one where they draw along. They draw along as you talk, and they say like, oh, they're talking about whatever socialism or something, and they draw a picture as it goes.
Oh, like infographic stuff. Yeah.
And so they were talking about mass psychosis, and how like, and it honestly was talking about like, how, people in control, totalitarian type people who think that way doesn't have to be already in ingratiated in the establishment, but these people, how they can control the masses and manipulate into fear and ability to control the people. And I'll have to send it to you guys because it made me think of this show and how like the best way to fight against that kind of those kind of things, like this disassociation from humanity. That's what they do. They isolate you. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, lockdowns, but it's unhealthy. It's not a natural thing is what I'll say. You know, it's not like it's not necessary, but it's unnatural. So, and it might not be through the powers that be, but I wonder if like, how do we, as a society, as individuals, participate in a society that is unhealthy, that we all recognize is unhealthy?
Right.
You know? And one of the things I do think, and I think it helps me be sane, is the show. But it's like forming your own community, and and what they call a parallel system, where you can be free to be yourself in a group setting.
Yeah.
You know, and establish like those healthy things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what you know is a healthy human interactions, you know, that kind of shit. And have more and more of those things happen throughout society, smaller pairings. That's what I'm leaning towards more. What do you, I mean, I'm not like, I used to not think of anarchy as a viable solution because of what we think of anarchy just being everybody going crazy. But now I'm starting to realize that there's a form of anarchy that could be like, you know, just smaller pockets of communities that are like, this is how we live life. And if you want to be part of it, that's cool. And if you don't, then you go to the next one that you feel good about, you know?
Oh, sure. Like all the swingers live here, all the non-swingers live over here, all the furries live. I mean, I think that's an oversimplification of what you were saying.
Yes. Yeah. And I wonder if it's possible anymore because, like, I mean, I feel like that's what the 50 states was trying to do. The American, right? Was having like all different rules and you kind of figure out which one. That's how people work as a populace is like, I mean, how humans work so well is the diversity is a strength, but it's also a weakness too, because it's easily pointed out. And so, so I wonder if it's more digital in the future, if you just find these digital communities, if that's how it goes. But then it's so interesting that you could have somebody who has the same likes and dislikes as you on the other side of the world. But they're conformed to a whole different society that they're forced to be in, same as you, and vice versa, right? Yeah, heavy. But I also would love to see how we can make it funny. But that's part of it too, is making fun of the powers that be. The power, like ridiculing, because they just think too serious of themselves. So I don't know. It's weird because I think about politics, but as a comic, I always think about just being an observer, and that's how I always grew up. Is being. Oh, who was that?
That was me by accident.
Oh, okay.
Ralf is in the waiting room.
Oh, no shit! That's awesome.
Ralphin, yeah.
Oh, the band's back together.
Yeah. This is awesome, and he's somebody I think about all the time when I see, because I miss him so much.
Yeah.
Because I see Ralf. What's up, brother? Oh, and I see him fighting a good fight always.
What's up, Ralf?
Fighting a bad fight.
That's gorgeous.
I miss my boy.
Are you walking a dog right at the moment?
No, I'm walking a tiny cupboard. I'm on my way to teach my class.
Oh, nice. It the way you were walking, it looked like you had your arm outstretched, like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that was. I just saw a man riding his baby on a bike. Like the baby was right in front of him on his bike, and it seemed very precarious. But I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
I've seen a baby drive a motorbike out here, so I'm sure a baby's qualified. A motorbike.
I don't think that's, man, I don't know.
I saw in my neighborhood like 2 months ago a guy riding a Segway, and the dog was standing on its hind legs, hugging like the pole.
No,
that's adorable.
Yeah,
that's adorable.
I couldn't get my phone out, but I talked to someone else in my neighborhood who saw the same person.
Maybe you'll see them again, and you'll be able to document it.
Yeah,
that is wild.
Yeah. Hey Ralph, I was at a place last night, and someone came up to me and said "Precious Gorgeous" and pointed at me.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's really.
Well, because it was somebody who saw you do the show we did at Pioneers Club.
Oh, okay. And then so they said your name. They said my name and pointed at you. That's really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because he knew that, like, he
associated you guys together.
He associated. Yeah.
That's really funny. I just feel like that'd be really funny if somebody came up to me and pointed at me and said, "Shawn Wicken."
I hope so. I hope it happens and you can report back to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond. I would be like, because part of me is like, well, I guess it's like Arsenio has this great joke about how people run up to him for his autograph, but then he realizes they think he's Wesley Snipes. So I kind of feel that way. I'd be like, yeah, I guess I'm Shawn Wickens right now.
Yeah.
Maybe he watched a show and he just didn't know who was who. And if it was Shawn there, he would have called you Precious Gorgeous. I mean, he would have called, if he saw you, he would have, done it.
He'd have been like, Shawn Wickens. I'd have been like, yeah.
That's funny. No, I think he was making an association. But I might, if I start seeing people on the street, I might point at them and just yell the name of a mutual friend.
Why not? Really, yeah.
I just want Shawn to know that he's both precious and gorgeous as well. That's all.
That's what I hope is being communicated.
Yeah.
Jason, where are you right now? You're in a room full of color.
I'm in a room full of color. I went to the show last night. I still got a little left over on me.
You went to what last night?
I went to a Grateful Dead show last night.
Oh yes, I saw that on your feed. Yeah.
I seen John Mayer played with Grateful Dead and Company. And, it was insane, but the whole time I had the whole skit of Bell and John Mayer going around with the guitar. That was in my mind, and just there was a crowd of 40,000 people dancing to John Mayer playing playing his.
It came to life. It came to true life.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Okay. This car came up really fast.
We might be cutting out. He might be subway. He must be subway bound.
No, he's walking to a tiny cupboard. He might be just there.
Oh.
He's probably standing next to a brick building that is blocking his Wi-Fi signal or whatever.
It's a good profile. Listen, we should screen capture this and just keep him always there. He might never talk, but just have him for the show. It's nice.
I got it.
Oh, good work. I got a backup. Yeah. What else is going on?
I went off to. I went off in left field.
You, Lex. So go ahead.
Oh no! If you had, the other thing I was thinking about this week, in that same kind of line, I just keep thinking like we're at a crux of, like there should be choices made. But I was watching and I was thinking about us. We talk about aliens a lot, and but we don't talk about robots enough. I don't know, and AI.
You're right.
So I was thinking about that. Like I was watching Elon Musk came out and he's going to come out with a new androidy kind of dude. And he looked kind of iRobot-ish, And I like the two things he said. He's going to make it that it can only run about 10 miles an hour and you should be able to overpower it. Most people will be able to overpower it, which is like a good selling thing for robots.
Yeah. That's, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not somebody who's been afraid of Terminators overtaking us.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I feel like the answer would be if there was an AI that was like, I'm going to fuck over humanity.
Yeah.
It
I jumped on.
It would be a version of like, okay, we're all cyborgs now, and nobody has to fight because.
They would just make us part of them, like like the Borg.
And people would resist that, but it's also like.
I thought you were going to say
we used to live in caves, then we lived in houses.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're into the Matrix. That's just how life progresses.
Yeah. Uncle Steve has robot arms. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
It'll be like Facebook, but you're like, what? You're not on Facebook? Shit. You're not a robot?
Yeah, right. Exactly. But now that I hear this Elon Musk idea, it's smart. I'm for it.
Yeah. I was thinking, Jay.
The guy that was hanging out with us yesterday at a booth next to us at the show, his name was Uncle Steve. He's this big deadhead. Wow, that's weird, dude.
That's funny. Did he have robot arms?
Acid.
Wait.
Oh.
Wait. I have no clue what that story about Uncle Steve was about. I just know that
I randomly said this guy Uncle Steve had robot arms, and then Jay actually hung out with a guy named Robot Steve. I mean, but Uncle Steve, Robot Steve. What do you? No, well, I was thinking. Well, first off, when Shawn said about if we created an AI that destroys humanity, I would think that the first thing we could do quickly is make another AI robot that would destroy the AI in the first place.
Oh yeah.
Like if we're worried about it, like not in control, we just make the same one, but we have one extra little thing that says, "All right, only attack that robot."
Yeah.
Or that AI, that giant AI thing.
That's smart.
Thanks. I just thought of that. Actually, a robot did.
You should get that idea out there more somehow.
Yeah, well, this is it. I'm putting it out there now.
Oh, I know.
Ralph, do you think robots, or like if you had an Android, like what kind of specifications do you need before you buy that robot? It'll be like a personal assistant to you.
Really just that it can like take dictation and return emails.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
It doesn't.
You could be like a walking Alexa.
Does it have legs or no? It doesn't even need legs.
Has legs. Oh. But I was also thinking if we had robots.
Play with mushrooms.
If it could play what?
Play with a dog.
If it could play.
If it
could fire
I was thinking I would like a little Android, but like only like 2 feet tall. But it's human shaped, but like tiny.
You know what I would like for a robot to do? My own robot personal assistant. I would like it to show up to events that I have RSVP'd in the affirmative, but I've changed my mind and no longer want to go to. So my robot can show up, and I'll record just like some funny random statements.
Nice.
So it could just interject.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. You could have them hold up a phone and it has your face on it.
Yeah.
It feels like that's really going to happen. People are going to send robot envoys to parties.
Yeah, and I don't even think that's my idea. I think somebody else told me that, and I was just like, "That's brilliant." I don't remember who that was, but
I think I need my robot to be a little bit stupider than I am, so that way I can always have dominance over it.
Sure. How about this? Would you guys want a robot dog? Like instead of having a real dog, but it looks exactly like a real dog, but you don't have to feed it or make it shit. Would you want that?
I had a student who had one of those.
Can it have a little electronic bark? Like bark?
Yep.
Bark?
No, it'll sound like a real dog. It'll be like Daddy. Exactly like Daddy. But
it wasn't shaped like a
dog. It would be shaped like a dog.
Yeah.
No, hers wasn't shaped like a dog. She had a little pet robot that like behaved like a pet, but it wasn't shaped like a dog.
Okay.
If there was a robot dog that looked like a dog and acted like a dog, I would not purchase this for myself, but I would accept it as a gift.
Okay.
Because then you could shut it off for like a week. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but do you think you would get the satisfaction of getting a love from a dog? Like when he gets home and it's acting all happy, would you be like, oh, that's just programming. Isn't that what real dogs are doing too? But then, I mean,
I partly agree with that. I think you would feel moved, but then you would catch yourself and remind yourself that it's fake.
Yeah.
Isn't that the concept of the singularities, sort of that we just humanity just keeps evolving to the point where we can build humanity out of machine, and then
yes,
and then the machines take over, and then we do it again, and we do it again. And
yes.
We do it again.
Yeah. That's a version of the multiverse, which I mean, statistics that's what we're doing. That's the weird thing. That's the crazy thing, is that the math says that's the odds.
Do you guys remember the movie AI, the Steven Spielberg one?
Yes.
With Osmond? I saw that 2 years ago, and it's better than I remembered it. It's like so much better than I remember it. And there is a point where in the movie, the mom has to choose whether or not to have the robot child imprint on her.
Yes.
Like, I'm choosing the kid to love me, and she has to read a series of like 8 words, and then the robot turns more human, and like hugs her or something like that, and she starts crying, and it's such a good scene. It's like incredible. But anyway, I was watching that movie. It's also, as I said, all right, it's better than I remember it, right? Nobody would call it a classic movie.
No.
But
he tried though.
But I think in, let's say, 100 or even 200 years, when machines do meld with humanity, it will be looked upon as a classic film, because half robots, half humans will be able to identify that with that movie deeper. They'll be able to like empathize with the robot main character more. So I think that's a movie for the future.
Ooh. I like it.
Because like Moby Dick was discovered after it came, like 40 years after it came out. It wasn't a classic. Anyway, that's my prediction for the movie AI. I'll never know if I'm right, but that's what I think.
I mean, I wonder if, because retroactively that hasn't happened with like Ed TV, or what's the one Matthew McConaughey was in? Is that it? Ed TV?
You're talking about like
like Goodfellas,
Inner Space,
kind of.
Goodfellas.
It was a hit movie when it came out, but it didn't win Best Picture. It didn't win very many Oscars, and it's like more remembered now than any movie that came out that year. You know, so it's like, I mean, it's not an exact example, but it's like it became a bigger movie than it was at the time.
I'm on your side, Shawn, because I remember when that movie came out thinking like, oh, it felt like a movie that was very in the fabric of our culture. I feel like people were talking about it all the time. But now I feel like I haven't heard anybody talk about it in like not even 3, like 5, 6, 7 years. And I remember when it came out, being everywhere.
My neighbor just watched that movie with his kid, and that was like his like 17-year-old kid, and that was like a car. He's like, oh, you got to see this, and once the kid's seen it, he's just walking around the neighborhood talking like a wise guy now and everything.
Oh, you're talking about Goodfellas?
Yeah. So
I thought he watched the kid move the iRobot or whatever. What was the movie? AI, yeah. And then he walked around like a tough guy. That's good.
Walked around.
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Walking around like a robot.
Like, did you just see Goodfellas? No, I watched AI.
Ralph, what are you teaching today? Or can you share with us what is going to happen in your class?
So today, so the way the class is broken down is I spend like the first 2/3 of the class identifying the skills that I think comedians who become actors, the qualities that they have that I think makes them better than the average actor.
Yeah.
So I've identified 5 of those skills, and then I sort of take the comedians through them so they can recognize them and see them in themselves and like grasp onto them and harness them for acting.
Yeah. Yeah. Exercise that muscle memory.
Yeah, and then, so today we're on mischievousness.
Ah,
that's what we're working on today.
Hey, I like that.
Ralph, I had dinner with a friend recently, and he was talking to me about this exercise. Who's like a Meisner technique exercise? Do you know the door exercise where someone has to knock on a door and someone has to choose how to answer it or whether to answer it or not?
Oh no, I don't know any of the like the real acting exercises. Everything I do is like improv and something.
No, I know, but it's so there's YouTube videos of like the Meisner door exercise. There's like examples of it online, and it made me think of like an improv exercise I would do for when I was teaching. It's really, I don't know, it's like very good.
Please tell me.
Well, it's just an exercise where someone has to knock on the door. Someone has to be on the stage doing some physical activity. The person outside the door doesn't know what the person inside is doing. The person inside doesn't know what the entrance is about. And it's just like, I saw a few examples.
Choices. It's making choices.
Yeah.
Right?
And being like honest and stuff. But I saw some examples on YouTube, and like people were on stage and scared. Like it didn't look like they didn't know what to do, and they were confused, and they would try to interact with each other, and like it was fascinating to watch. I think you could do a full length movie of just versions of the Meisner door exercise.
Interesting.
That would be interesting. I wonder how much people are interested in like acting exercises and stuff. And
I find them pretty fascinating. Shawn, do you remember any? I know every once in a while, an improv teacher would teach me something from an acting class. Did anything stand out from you?
Yeah. Well, there were acting exercises that I hated and acting exercises that I really loved.
Sure.
But one of them was, you had to take this is a group exercise, and you had to like take you had to freeze in a weird position.
Mm-hmm.
But you also had to choose somebody else in the room. So once everyone was frozen, you had to slowly change your position to mimic the person who you had chosen. Everybody chose somebody different.
Yeah.
So it was like it was a movement exercise. So everybody would be moving to try to.
Oh, you did that with us before.
To keep up with people. I like that. That's a real fun one.
And
fun.
There were moments where you couldn't remember if you were choosing the position or if it was being chosen for. It was just like so.
That's really trippy, organic. I miss stuff like that. Oh, do we lose Ralph? I miss stuff like that. Good exercise. Okay, good.
I'm here.
How does
that begin? You just take a position. How do you find the position?
So you have. Can I see if I guess it right?
Sure.
So say there's 8 people in a room,
yes.
And everybody picks a different person to mimic.
Yes.
So everybody's picking different people. So everybody's has different stances, and everybody's trying to mirror somebody else. So everybody's moving in a different motion that kind of also mirrors other movements because everybody's in some kind of different groove.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, in one kind of organic groove, or at least a pattern.
But how does it begin? How do you find the first position?
So, you tell everyone to choose one person. You know what I mean? And then and then you ask I forget how it was taught to me, but I would do is I would get people to move around the space, and I would say move in odd positions. Don't just walk. Just like move your body in weird positions, and then I would at one point say freeze, so everyone would be in a frozen, weird thing pose, and then you would say now mimic the person that you chose, and then that's when it would start.
Man, that's cool.
Shawn,
I want to ask you too. I know, Lex, you teach some, right?
Yeah. I haven't in a while. I'm starting to out here, or I'd like to.
Yeah, I wonder why you haven't. I feel like, well, people, you probably don't have an example of improv or anything to show people, or I mean, stand-up.
They have short form stuff. It's my fault because I'm just a lousy promoter, and I don't have a lot of online content. So I always feel a little bit more like, even though I have a good resume, that it's not like, I sometimes feel like, why would you listen to me? But I try to share information. I tried to set up groups, just like free writing stuff, and it seemed like because it was free, nobody valued it. So now when things aren't in lockdown anymore, I plan on starting to teach more.
Still in lockdown?
Yeah, I'm in like hardcore lockdown again, too. Yeah.
You guys went out and went back in.
Yeah, we've had multiple times, but this is as bad. This is the first time where it's as bad as the first time. You know, like the first time was really serious, and then it was kind of like certain restrictions, and when it opened up slowly, now it's like, there's a curfew. If you saw, I'm outside now, and you could, like, no cars, nobody's on the road.
Holy moly.
It's really creepy, weird. And I'm in the first lockdown, I was in, like, I was off a beaten path, but now I'm kind of more in the city, and it feels weird, and it's weird. It's interesting.
Wow.
Wow. Well, I just wanted to ask, and I gotta jump off here in a little bit.
Yeah. But, okay, sorry.
No, it's totally fun. I just want to ask, do you guys make, like, Shawn, do you have a list of games somewhere that you keep?
I think I used to, but then I just kept a mental list.
Oh shit, dude!
And I would try to think of, I don't know, I would see a group perform, and then I would think of like what was missing or what they work on, you know, or sometimes I ask what they need to work on, and then I come up with ideas.
I keep a long, constantly growing list of games. I would be lost without it. I would have.
Dude, yeah, that's good. If you ever want, I'd love to see that. I had a list, but I have it's relatively short though, but I did bust it out when I started kind of writing a curriculum. I'll tell you before you go, Ralph, do you ever play character baseball? You ever hear of this one? Character baseball?
I played that, yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that always stuck with me.
Or people each give you a characteristic or something like that?
Yeah. Like one person gives you a stand, like a stand. The second person gives you a tick. A third person gives you a catchphrase, and a third person gives you a topic to do a rant on, or a quick monologue. And then you have to kind of embody that character. And then you have so many tools that it works really well. And so when I ever think about writing, like I think about it more when I'm writing, but like a sketch, and I think about how to quickly flesh out a character, you know. It's a good way to make choices, or like when you're developing a character that you want to do more often, things like giving them a tick, I think is like genius. You know, when I see good acting and somebody has some weird little tick, it makes them more human for some reason, you know?
Yeah, man, I thought you were talking about a different game where you pick a character like Abe Lincoln or Optimus Prime, and you play a game of baseball, and then if you lose,
yeah. Oh, that's a different version, yeah. But okay.
Can I share one quick thing before Ralph leaves that I think is useful?
Yeah.
Because earlier I said that I was like, there were acting exercises that I liked and acting exercises that I didn't like. And usually the ones I didn't like them because I didn't understand the point of why we were doing it. You know, like, what are we supposed to derive from this? And I think I now understand what the value is of even doing something that you don't understand. It's just that it's a challenge that you have to, like, overcome. It's like,
that's a good way to look at it.
It's like an arbitrary goal you're given. It's, you know, walk like a chicken for a minute or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like you just have to accomplish it, which is what life is. It's a series of like challenges that you have to overcome.
One of the things that I miss most about improv is games, you know, and as adults, I think we lose the value of having games. Making things into games is really a good way to get shit done.
Hey, speaking
and for your brain.
Speaking of games, we can talk about this further offline. But do you guys want to try to do a like Let's find a dungeon master and us four play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've never done it. I've never done it.
I've only done it like once. And we can talk about it off air, but I feel like
yeah, Ralph, you don't have to commit. You're very busy. But
no, yeah.
I see the stress in his face.
Yeah. But
Ralph,
I would like to
master.
What's that?
You'd be an awesome dungeon master if you didn't play.
Oh man, I feel like every time I've come near Dungeons and Dragons in my life, it's been like a thing where I'm like, I think I'm supposed to be into this, and somehow I am, and then I also know I'll never do it again.
I'm the same way in some ways. It seems fun, but I never am driven to do it. But I think that there is value in doing it because, like I just said, it's just another challenge to sort of.
I only got interested when Dan, I think it was Harmontown, I know it was Dan Harmon was doing. He was doing it live audience, and it looked so fun. And they even recorded it and animated.
I love you all.
Okay, see you, Ralph.
Yeah, love you too.
Love you, buddy.
This is gorgeous.
Have fun today.
Break a leg.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that idea, Shawn.
Yeah.
It's just something fun to do. I mean, it's not like we have to do it we can just do it once. It could be like a special, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember the guy from Raleigh would do that live on stage. They do all those type of things. They do Marvel characters online.
Yeah. Drew Berto. Drew Berto is a huge nerd, and I love that guy.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Mike Mello, who's a comic down in Raleigh. And if you don't know, there's I posted it on my Facebook page. They have a GoFundMe. He got cancer. And Mark Brady, another comic, set up some shows and set up a fund. And I know it's working out for him, but he's a good dude and a really good comic. A really good comic that nobody knows about.
Send us a link and we'll repost it when you get a chance.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll like too, because I know the same thing happened with Sherry Diaz.
Oh yeah.
Wait, really, Sherry?
Yeah.
She's sick. She's sick right now.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's I think just this week people started posting about it.
I didn't know about it. That sucks. Bummer.
Yeah, send us that info. We'll repost it definitely. And Don just sent me a message that I forgot to change the title of this live stream again for the second week.
Yeah.
We're stoned.
Bum.
So
calling the name Stoner Morning Show. You guys expect too much of us.
That's right.
Good looking out on the comments though. I know I said I wanted to look at it more, but then my laptop broke. But I think that's one thing. Sorry to say it on live, but I'm OCD now. If we're streaming live, we should try to interact more. I think that's the benefits of going live.
No,
or maybe it'll help at least drive the audience live watching it. Where they actually know we know they're watching.
Yeah, if you're watching, comment now, and we will comment on your comment. How about that?
Yes. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
And nothing is off limits, but we also just might not address your thing for any length. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. But we're open to topics because it's just us three today too. So we're just bullshitting and talking.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about OnlyFans.
Okay.
What?
What happened? I missed the whole thing in the chat with. Did you post something about OnlyFans online?
Me?
Shawn.
Oh
no!
He commented on Twitter.
I retweeted an article. Oh, real quick! Shout out to Samantha and Bill who just wrote comment. Good work. You've been acknowledged. Anyway, I tweeted an article about how OnlyFans went back on their public statement that they were going to ban nudity, and then they were like, "Okay, now we changed our mind. We're going to let nudity stay on there." And my comment was that it was just a cheap way to get publicity, really.
Yes.
Like I don't. In hindsight, seeing what happened, I don't believe that they ever truthfully intended to kick that content off.
Yeah.
I think it
was like a reminder. Hey, girls, you can get money here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my statement on that. Which is maybe not true, but I think it's possible that that's the truth.
Yeah.
All right.
Even with something like this, and we don't have to get too serious, but that's isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
How we can't even question. We question every intent right now because we really don't have a solid base of factual of what is fact. By the way, that's going back to the beginning of what we were talking about. That's another way that the powers that be can control you, is confuse you and quite make you question. And in another video that I was watching, it was just talking about civilization and when you're in a civilization, and when you're in a society, you're basically agreeing on one belief. That's kind of it's a good way to put it, is like, I mean, or like a belief system is kind of a basis to have a community around, right? Yeah. So right now that structure is completely destroyed. There's no real foundation, of like, we all agree that this should be happening, Well, the only thing that we agree is that the system isn't working, which is a trip. But that's it. They can't even agree how it's not working, It's amazing.
That's a lot to wrap a mind around.
Yeah.
So they had this thing, it was Plato used to talk about it. In Greece, they had this thing called iosis or something like that, but it was a drink that they would take that caused death on Earth. So it was the most, if you want to Google, it's called the best kept secret in history.
Hemlock?
No, it's hemlock kills you.
Oh, I thought you said this is a drink that kills you. What is? Wait,
no, it makes you feel. They would describe it as an ego. What we could probably describe as an ego death. It was a death and rebirthing, and so I'm thinking that they were drinking ayahuasca.
In Greece.
In Greece.
Wow.
Way back then.
Maybe or some form of DMT.
YouTube, yeah, some form of DMT, exactly. YouTube, search on YouTube, the greatest secret in history, the greatest kept secret in history. And they talk about that Greece drinking this thing that they have this name for that nobody knows what it was called. And they talk about that with another society that has something similar as well. And it's just some kind of potent drug that, when described, sounds like the effects of ayahuasca, and they are on ancient civilization. And man, I really believe, like, I would be surprised if you had like a president or leaders who were forced to do these kind of things, have some kind of ego death, maybe they would actually be more public service.
That happens in Black Panther, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm a fan.
That's maybe that happens, and we don't know it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Maybe when you're elected president, although I guess we had an example of a president that you would suspect didn't have any sort of like rebirth, eye-opening thing, but
yeah.
I mean, maybe he declined, but like I could imagine, like, hey, Mr. President, welcome to your new job. Here's the Area 51 files, and you need to drink this. Like,
yes, yeah. And I like the idea that they give you the alien files first, so that when you're tripping out, you'll be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
It's all real.
Okay, here's a new comment. Don is confused about something. He said, like when Fauci said you need a COVID test because you could have COVID without symptoms, and then he said he didn't need a test because he didn't have any symptoms. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm not aware of that incident.
Well, he's giving you two different things. He's saying, "Do as I say, not as I do."
Oh.
And his logic, it was a logic fallacy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's in. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Don on point.
Well, I'm no doctor, and I don't know how to do his job better. You know what I mean?
I would have at least, my thing with Fauci, the two big things that I say is he's a liar. Like he lied about masks because he admitted to such when he said, like, afterward, he's like, yeah, we did need masks. I was just afraid that we wouldn't have enough for the necessary workers. But
sure.
I mean, once you're in charge of everybody hearing these things, and you're trying to, you invalidate yourself once you have such a blatant lie, right? And the other one was like that he didn't know that they were doing the funding, like America funded what's that kind of research? This type of research where they're making viruses exponentially worse, right? Whatever they call that type of research. So he was in front of the thing and was like, and he was just doing wordplay and lying about him literally personally knowing that they did these things. So he has, they had emails that went through. Again, I believe in the vaccine. I believe in COVID is real.
Sure.
I think that it was probably most likely an accident. I don't think it was an attack, but when you have somebody in charge,
right?
He should be somebody who's you have to, especially in a democracy, but in something this important, be as honest as possible. Listen, masks help, but we're worried. We're not going to sell them to the public yet.
Right.
These kind of things. When they worry about mass hysteria, and that's one of those things I learned in that thing about mass psychosis, is there never really has mass hysteria where you actually, when there's a tragedy, and we've seen this in our lifetime, when there's massive tragedy, humanity, that's when we're most humane, when we're actually, we get together as a society. And us living through 9/11 in New York, we saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to jump in real quick, and the only real statement I have on Dr. Fauci is, if a guy can't pitch a baseball, don't invite him to throw out the first pitch at a baseball game.
Yeah.
That's I think pretty big. And
is that on him to accept it? I just blame him. I would if I can't throw a baseball, I'd be like,
well, it wasn't his idea.
I'm honored.
Well, it wasn't his idea. You know what I mean? I don't know if he asked to do it. But the man.
I'll tell you, that's my.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say best guest to ever throw out a first pitch, I think, was George Bush Jr. He threw out. The guy could throw a baseball. It's the best thing he ever did as a president.
George W. Bush.
George W. Bush. Yeah.
George
Bush Jr.
I could see him knowing how to throw a baseball. Yeah.
Yeah. He had a strike right on it. He painted the corner.
Oh.
Throw a baseball and do a line of coke.
Like that.
Yeah. He is a cocaine user, former. That it's true. I watched the Bob Ross documentary on Netflix.
Tell me about it.
Now too many people are commenting, and it's hard to keep track of. Valerie is here, and if Valerie wants to jump on and has a Zoom link, feel free.
Up?
Yeah, feel free to jump in. But anyway, I watched the Bob Ross documentary. Have you seen the trailer?
No.
Okay, yes. So it made it seem like you were going to hear a lot of dark secrets. And so it made me think, oh, we're going to find out.
Bob had a second life?
Well, yeah, was a horrible person. And we didn't find that out. We did find out some stuff that wasn't that. So the documentary wasn't as intriguing as I thought it would, but I also walked away from it happy, finding out that it reaffirmed that Bob Ross was a good person.
That is good. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's all I have to say on it. I don't want to give spoilers.
I'm gonna put Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, and the Crocodile Hunter. Top 3 nicest guys in entertainment.
That's a good
It's a good assumption.
That's a good, yeah. I think it would be hard to put anyone above that. I'm sure there is people, you know what I mean? But those are good. That's a good top three.
Elmo's up there. Elmo is pretty positive guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you could count Muppets as real people, then the list would change, I'm sure. Big Bird. Who's the top three nicest Muppets? Is Big Bird?
Top three nicest Muppets. Well, I think Elmo.
Yeah. Okay.
Big Bird could be Big Bird got, he got a little ego on him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kermit. Kermit Frog. Come on.
He's pretty snippy to Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy wouldn't agree.
I think you could argue that all the times Kermit seems angry, it's because he's kind of getting pressed from all directions. And
that's true. He's not good with time management.
Yeah,
it seems. What about?
It's also Fozzie the Bear just fucks up so much stuff, I think.
Yeah, he really does. He's really in a lot of hijinks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw out Beaker. How about Beaker? He's a pretty mild-tempered dude.
Yeah.
Pretty pleasant.
Right.
Me.
I mean, you never know if he's harboring some sort of like silent anger. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
He appears to be in a good mood, in a good place.
Oh, you know who's good? The bass player from the band. the stoner guy.
The green.
Just like, hey,
the green dude.
Well, the purple Mr. guy.
Keys. There's no, not Mr. Keys. The purple. Oh, you know what? I'll put him over. Yeah, purple guy with. Yeah. Yep.
Dr. Teeth was that?
I think it was.
No, Dr. Teeth is the lead singer, and he's the piano guy. But there's the purple guy who blows saxophone. There's the blonde girl with the bangs that cover her face, and she's dudes.
The eyelashes.
But the But the saxophone guy, I think, is probably the most chill. More chill than Elmo, because he gets anxiety.
Yeah.
Elmo gets anxious a lot.
I bet the saxophone Muppet never showed up late for a rehearsal. He's
he's all business. He's a businessman. Yeah.
Oh, Valerie's here. Maybe she might have been waiting for a little while. We'll see. But this is appropriate because I think, hey, we forgot to change the title of today, and I think you're listed as a guest, so it's perfect that you came on. Wow, what time zone are you in? That's a Miller Lite.
It's last night's Miller Lite. Playing something with Wario. I don't know.
I think that's the first morning beer that's ever been consumed on this show. That's a
Are you serious? You should go back and see all of my time here.
Morning beer last week.
What, Jason?
We had a morning beer last week. I remember.
Yeah, like I usually do.
I think it was a Truly, actually.
Oh, those don't work. I don't know why. But how you guys been? How's everything going?
Pretty good.
Okay.
It's been hot in New York, and but it's not been so hot that I feel like it's been defeating me. But I will say that I have been talking a lot about how much I don't want to complain about how hot it is.
You're getting real zen and real meta with the pain.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like marathon running. Like at the end of the race, you have to find somewhere to put the pain. And that's what you're doing with this heat. Maybe start with a lighter shirt.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, you can put like ice cubes in front of a fan. That always helps.
I should get one of those personal fan and squirt bottles to just keep with me when I walk around the city. Why not?
I like those. I'm a big mister. I'm a big fan of Mister. When people say, "Hey, Mister," they're not.
I get it.
How do you guys feel about patchouli?
About what?
About who?
Patchouli, the smell. I think I smell a lot more patchouli than I ever wanted to smell like yesterday.
Yeah.
Patchouli?
Yeah.
He was at a dead show. He was at
That
a dead
reminds
show.
me of my first husband. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah. I went.
Patchouli smells like you're gonna molest little teenage girls.
Oh god.
Sorry, that's how it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't choose to have it in my living situation, but I'm not bothered by it, I guess. You know.
I'm just always aware of it.
Oh yeah.
I'm always aware of it when it's around. It's like my mom. I'm like super aware of it when she's around.
I bet if I was like staying at an Airbnb that smelled like it, by the end of it, I'd be like, get me out of here.
Yeah. It's one of those smells that doesn't go away. That's it, right? You don't get used to, you don't like, you could be by a dumpster and you eventually not smell it. But patchouli oil, you'll smell consistently the whole time.
I'd be in a crowd of 40,000 people, and now you got to figure at least half of them are wearing patchouli.
Maybe it's only 10%, but it's such a strong smell. It just sort of.
Yeah.
There should be a patchouli, and it's patchouli with truly to like thin out the oil. And it's the right amount. Patchouli.
That's good. Yeah, it's patchouli light. It's just a
That's a great idea. I think you'd actually sell that if you just called it patchouli.
It's just a hint. Yeah, just a hint of it. I'm gonna get some coffee. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay. Hey, so you know what I am selling now? Because I'm always selling something, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm selling mobile app security testing.
What does that do?
Wait,
yeah, educate us on the product.
Okay. So let's say you're a developer and you're making this really cool new app like Uber or something. The coders don't necessarily code in a way that prevents hackers from getting in because they're not really thinking about it at the moment.
Sure.
And so the thing that I'm selling is like testing the code to see if it's possible for hackers to get in before you release it onto the market.
Why don't you could do it like you could hack them beforehand and then you're like, hey, like people do that, right? They're like, hey, we hacked into you, and then hacking. Okay. Yeah, white hacking. Yep.
Yeah.
So are you going to try to hack nodes that are on the quantum internet now and everything?
All I'm saying is that like if you guys want to take a little trip to Trump Tower and just be like, oh, I need to connect to the Wi-Fi for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Plan a wedding. You know what I mean? I heard it's a beautiful place.
Sure.
Very nice. Like on my way to work, I have to go I've never had to go into an office. I have to go into an office once a week now. And I pass by Trump Hotel on my way once a week for a long time.
Well, look, we're on the internet. Let's put it out there. We're a bunch of stoners. If there's another stoner that works at Trump Tower, can you send us the Wi-Fi key?
Yeah. I don't know if we need it. That's what right? Do we need it?
We need it.
Why don't
we just need to be there?
Let's just ask for his taxes.
Oh, there you go.
No, but that's not as fun.
Yeah.
I want to be like
it would put this show on the map. Like every news outlet would have to say Stoner Morning Show because it's like, oh, somebody leaked the files to a bunch of online comedians, and then
yeah, they told me to take down Bye Bye Bezos off my LinkedIn, and I kind of did, but not really.
They can do that?
Yeah, how come? Why they ask?
I could have raised a fuss, but I'm not gonna. Like, one of the best strategies is just be like, okay, and then don't. Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna tell you to do it again. Like, oh
yeah.
Let me do it later, and then you just never do it.
That's smart.
Yeah.
You should do like you should be a life coach, and that's your only advice.
Just say you did it.
Yeah.
There's a Nike just do it, and there's the Valerie just say you did it.
Yeah. And also, Valerie, you can charge for like 1 hour coaching sessions, but they only last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really?
Well, we just
and then
did
I just sit them down in a park, and I'm like, this is really what you paid for.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah.
And just walk away. This is a life lesson.
One quote, and I say, what you paid for is this time alone to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dip out.
You paid for an hour, but you get a lifetime of what the fuck did I just happened.
Yeah, we'll
you
work
can
on
really contemplate on it.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah. Hey, I'm doing a stand-up show tonight at 7.
Ooh.
And can I run a joke by you that I am going to tell on stage tonight? I don't care. I don't care if anybody is watching now and go tonight.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I won't tell you the full joke. I'll just give you the premise. And it's that I don't go to escape rooms because I know how to beat every single one. And it's because I know about fire alarms. Like that's the way to get out of any escape room. It's just pull the fire alarm. And if there's not a fire alarm, it's just you raise a fuss. It's like, there's no fire alarm here. What are you trying to do to us? This is like illegal. Like, let me out.
Let me out.
Yeah.
Let me out. Stockholm won't work on me.
That's right.
Oh my God, Shawn, I'm so like the same way about games. I instantly start cheating. Like, no, you can't make me do this. And then
do you play video games, Valerie?
I just started like last night. I resisted them for a long time.
What game did you play?
Like last night, like there was like a breakthrough, and I was like, oh, you could just do shit for fun and not for war.
Oh yeah. Do you know about speedrunners?
No.
Okay, so speedrunning is a community within the video game community, and it's the goal is to try to figure out how to beat the game as quick as possible. And part of that is finding glitches within the game.
You're hacking the game.
Yeah, it's like kind of incredible to just watch somebody speedrun a game and like just like skip some levels because they like
know the hack.
Yeah, some of it
dropped down like 3 feet and then ran through like nothingness and jumped up again, and they're in like level 10.
Yeah, and some of the hacks are so weird. Like somebody figured out how to skip some levels in Super Mario 3 because it's like you have to jump on this block while carrying this specific turtle shell, and then you have to like
that's crazy.
duck 3 times, and then hit a specific Goomba with the shell. It's like so weird.
If you think about how that's coded, how the fuck do you code that?
I don't know.
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Jason?
I said I used to play Elder Scrolls, and that's like a huge online world and everything. And there were all these glitches to like get like armor that was like that somehow was you had to go into a wall, and then you press like and you run into the wall as fast as you can like for 3 seconds, and then you kind of meld through the wall and drop into like space, and you just keep falling. But then there's like this chest that appears in front of you as you're falling, and you can open it up, and it's got like all this cool like higher level armor and everything so you're like, oh my God. But there's no way out of it after that because you just keep dropping and keep dropping. So you gotta like you had champagne last night too?
No, it's sparkling water.
Oh, I assumed. I'm sorry.
What's a life hack that you guys have seen on the internet that you actually use in your life right now?
Sparkling water to replace booze.
A life hack that I use.
Like I now will if I make hard-boiled eggs, I'll crack the eggs a little bit, and then I'll let it sit in water for like 5 minutes. And then you come back and the water it's seeped in, and you could peel it off really quick. It also works. You've seen them shake the egg. That works, but it actually works better if you just let it sit and crack it a little bit, and then let it sit for a little bit. That's an awesome life hack.
Really?
Yep. It like levels you up. You go right to level 10. You don't even need a turtle shell, and you get to level 10 right away.
I did one time. I was traveling and I forgot my phone charger, and I asked the front desk if they had the phone charger I needed in Lost and Found, and they did give me one. They just gave me someone else's charger.
Just gotta ask.
Yeah. I guess that's a life hack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need a charger, just go to a hotel and ask in Lost and Found.
Yeah.
And then you say,
any hotel.
Please get your Wi-Fi password. I really need to order an Uber. My service is so slow. Please help.
Valerie, do you have any comedy things coming up? Or
I was about to ask that.
Yeah.
No, I stopped getting booked.
Oh.
Suddenly, it's like one of those like periods where you're like, well, something will pop up, or I'll start looking. But I don't have anything open right now. I had a good set on Thursday. That was fun.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want to tell us one of the jokes you told?
Sure. Okay. So I grew up in a cult, and one of the things they made us do in the cult was like we had to go door to door preaching. And I always thought it was so unfair. Like, why do we have to go door to door like salesmen when Catholic kids get to just lay back and get molested? I mean, I am all about working smarter, not harder. Not that they were old enough to get hard.
You know what's the worst? Going to knocking on the door and like a kid from school being like answering, and you're like,
It's so terrible.
Hey, if you didn't know already, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, and that's why I don't eat your cupcakes on birthday. So now that we're both satisfyingly embarrassed, can we talk to your mom, please?
We could have just been cool about this from the beginning, but I guess we can't do it like this. So.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if you just pulled up to a random neighborhood, started like now as an adult, and you started knocking on doors, and when people answered, you'd say, "Hi, I'm not in a religion. I'm not. I just want to know if there's anything you want to tell me."
Oh, we should start this.
I fucking love that idea.
Brilliant. Absolutely one of your best ideas ever.
Oh my God.
That should be like the next Halloween is what we do. I don't want anything from you. It's you. That has nothing to do with Halloween. Think of another one for Halloween. What do we do on Halloween?
What's that?
What do we do on Halloween?
On Halloween, I guess you just have candy that you give to the people who are already giving candy away. Just like, hey,
hey, a little off the top for you, buddy.
Yeah.
I know you're running low.
Yeah.
Christine Marie.
You could actually say my trick is a treat.
Yeah.
Hey, my trick is a treat. That's how you knock. My trick is a treat.
Christine Marie is here. We'll bring her in.
Okay. Is there anything you want to tell me?
That's so funny.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Shawn. I'm just visiting the neighborhood. I just wanted to see if you had anything to tell me.
Yeah.
What are you doing on my front stoop? Why? I'm having breakfast with my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, cool. That's good enough. You just told me something. Thanks. Have a good day.
You're telling me that. Hey, were you having fun? Go back to that. That sounds great.
Yeah. Hey, Christine Marie.
Hey.
Hello. Hi. I had to mute you to be let in. Where are we? What's going
on? We're doing a show.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Classic.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
Yeah, we're just hanging out bullshitting.
Yeah.
Hey, Christine Marie, your phone's a little wacky. Either one could answer though, Valerie or Christine Marie. Any thoughts about robots? Like, what would be your favorite android, or like if you could buy a robot now?
Can
you describe ideal?
features would it need to have?
Yes.
You to purchase.
It would need to have really good conversational skills.
Ooh.
It would.
Somebody's lonely.
Somebody's bored.
No, I know. I'm sorry.
And doesn't have a lot of time for boring.
I'm just jealous you thought of it first. That's all. You're right. Yeah.
This robot's got to be on point every single time. I don't want to turn on the robot for nothing. You don't turn on a toaster just to watch it. All right.
Yep.
It's very 1980s C-3PO model that you might be interested in.
Oh, thank you. I could use an assistant.
I just watched the 30 Rock episode where he had a Japanese sex robot of himself and then saves the day. So I'm gonna, and especially because after decades of improv, I the sex robot in so many sketches that I think it's time that I get my own Japanese sex robot for my own purposes.
Yeah,
you know, and it doesn't have to have good conversation. It just needs to like look like
fuck.
Stuff.
Yeah.
You might be onto something with that. You're right.
You know what I bet? You know what I bet somebody's going to come out with, and it's, I think because we were talking about video games earlier, it made me think of this. But because you know how, like back in the day, the original Nintendo had the Game Genie. You could purchase the Game Genie to like hack your games. Everyone knows this, yeah.
Yes, I do.
I bet in the future somebody is going to invent an attachment that it's like if you have a robot that you can't have sex with, well, you can put this on the robot.
Yeah.
Like if you want to have sex with your refrigerator, boom, you plug this into your fridge and now you can have sex with it. I bet.
I just learned that if you keep my refrigerator open long enough, it has an alarm. I've never had a refrigerator this smart before, and it spooked me. I don't want anything knowing how much I eat when I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's the Internet of Things. That's IoT.
IoT. What's that mean? That's that quantum internet shit.
IoT's a little different than quantum internet, but
I'm just
IoT
throwing
is like any yeah, I see you. Any device that is connected to the internet is connected to like a more central internet, connected to a more central internet. And so you can hack things like Roombas and stuff. Like you can actually like hack a Roomba.
I saw
and make it like kill someone. Like
I saw on this robot show that made me think about robots so much. They had a Roomba for washing windows. You stick it on your window, and then it just slowly walks all around your window and cleans your window.
That's brilliant.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. It's about this big. So cool.
That's cool. That's like gonna save people entire shitty careers.
Yeah.
Do you think the way that we're society, though? I mean, that we're, because I mean, we're always talking and intruding into people's lives, so it's like we're becoming more desensitized and more desensitized. Do you think it'll ever go to like we're always gonna have like people watching us, or like you can just see what your friend's up to without?
It's already happening. It's already happening. But you know, I feel like it's already happening, but they're not sharing that information. I think people don't know how valuable your own personal information is. That's the biggest thing. People don't realize how expensive, like how much it costs that they're just selling our information online.
Yeah, that's why I feel like my whole men's suits stunt is underappreciated, because the whole thing is like, if we all turned all our ads to men's suits, the whole fucking thing would crumble.
Oh, I like it. I like that. Yeah, I agree.
Because data is as valuable as fucking oil right now.
Yes,
but I wonder how valuable inaccurate data is.
Okay, and that's the thing. It's not even used. And it's more It's more expensive than oil and more nefarious too because it's used against us. Yeah. I mean, like oil has a purpose, but this is our stuff that they're stealing. Yeah, we are the product.
We're the product.
And that's a trippy thing. When Elon Musk was talking about robots and talking about like how it's cool that they take away these horrible careers. But I didn't like that he described it as he goes, then what will people do when we don't need, like he described us like a tool. He was, even somebody who we put up in us pedestal, but the higher ups think of us as tools just as much as a robot. And that's why we're so replaceable.
I put on like LinkedIn, like either like we're going to let humanity just dissolve or we're going to have a revolution of art. Basically. Yeah,
like I really do. In a lot of ways, I do think it has to start with.
I don't see like how you can put humanity to work that isn't like disgusting. Just then just turn everything into fucking statues and shit and.
Yeah. Well, when you describe
times.
Yeah, when you describe a human's life or saying a human's purpose is to be part of a system that somebody else capitalizes on you, like. That's not a human's purpose.
Right.
People find purpose sometimes in their work.
Yeah, or you could let people live off the land, but North Korea does that. Yeah. It's not so great for them.
Well, I mean, there has to be a balance. I mean, we move towards technology. I'm not somebody who says get rid of technology. It's more about, having a balance between responsibility of community and respect for individual, right? Yeah. That's what we're always trying to struggle with, and fighting our own human natures. That when you are in a position of power, you become something less than human. You lose your humanity. So just knowing that you can't think that you're above it. When you might start off like Bill Gates just being a dude in a fucking garage, but now you are hanging out with pedophiles and controlling a coronavirus vaccine. And you justify it.
I mean, I don't know. I would have done it too. Like I would have released the coronavirus too, to be honest.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say hang out with pedophiles. All right.
No. Well, I already did that. I was a Jehovah's Witness.
That's right. I know. That's really comfortable setting for it.
I think it makes sense. Look.
I have a quick question. Valerie, how did you hack Facebook so you only see ads for men's suits? What were the steps in case anyone wants to replicate?
Okay. So
please.
I do this in a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Did I already do the joke?
Not today.
I don't know. I do it so much. I'm really trying to teach people something.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a feminist, but I'm lazy. So I only fight for my own rights. I'm sorry, ladies. But I think one of those rights is the right to not be constantly harassed by ads targeted at women. So I change my ads to ads for men's suits. And I do this by searching for men's suits, clicking on men's suits hashtags, following men's suits accounts, clicking on men's suits ads and only men's suits ads, scrolling slowly across men's suits ads, and going to the point of sale in a men's suits ads website until eventually my phone, my laptop, my tablet only show me ads for men's suits. And it's like the advertisers can't even get me. I'm immune to it. And I'm gonna like the way I look. Guarantee it. That's my little bit. But basically, if you make your user activity a certain topic,
you manipulate. Yeah, you manipulate
it. You feed it disinformation. Like one time I really needed to whiten my teeth, and I still need to do that. But like I was like, why don't I just change my ads to like Crest white strips, and maybe it'll remind me. And like I did the same thing, just search for Crest white strips and like click on it, hover over it.
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Should I look for men's suits? But I am a potential customer, or is there something else that I should? Should we all look for men's suits?
I think we should all find our own men's suits.
Okay.
No, I think Shawn should start tracking his cycle.
Yeah, you should track your cycle, Shawn.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'd like to know what your cycle's about.
That might make my phone explode. Yeah, maybe I'll start. Should it just be my cycle, or should I be interested in menopause information as well? Or it's just
you pick.
Okay.
How about giving birth? Maybe get baby ads, like prenatal care.
Oh yeah.
But it's more fun if you like specify it to a specific product, because then you get to like see I get to see literally men's suits all the time. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's something if you did it to like, I don't know, a bouncing ball, whatever.
Hey, just do cats.
Yeah.
Or cat food.
Oh my god.
And then you just get cute animals all the time.
Food, a never-ending supply of cat food.
Yeah. Jason, what did you have?
No, you know what's been popping up on my my
weed and joints.
No, surprisingly, sugar glider. We've
sugar gliders
in our like private chats a lot about sugar gliders and just like how fun they are and everything. And I get
adorable.
That as soon as I put and the next word that pops up is glider, like in my my thing. And
mine says sugar daddy.
People think that like apps don't record you, but like the whole company I work for is mobile app security, and like yes, some of them record you. like it's the algorithm, but they're also listening. Like, sorry.
I didn't know if your robot was a good conversationalist, Valerie.
Sorry, what?
I said, how would you know if your robot was a good conversationalist then? Because everything that you would program it with would be something that you were going to talk about anyway.
I know, that's like something I really work on with my boyfriend.
I love Amanda Palmer.
Do you think that that we'll get to a point where we can get a robot companion and somehow they analyze all of our previous relationships to then spit out like an ideal robot mate?
That'd be interesting. That'd be nice.
Sure.
That's something to explore.
Yeah.
Could end up like our human nature won't want it anyway, no matter what.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point.
See, I think it's more about knowing that all of the emotions that it is programmed with are still not real emotion. That's not something that it's feeling. It's still an algorithm.
So, lady,
how about this though? If you could program a robot to, if it feels angry, it just self-destructs. That's then a real thing.
Isn't
you know what I mean? Like if it gets
mad,
like if it gets mad, smoke comes out of its ears and it's like CPU explodes.
Well, so then there Asimov's 3 rules, right? For robots when AI is created, that it can't it can't do any harm to man. It can't I don't think it can't take up arms against man or some shit like that. There's 3 rules from Asimov. If you look them up, you'll see them. It's that's like sci-fi.
No one's doing those rules. Like, I swear
that's
to God, no one's fucking doing those rules.
Yeah, the first robots they made were to kill people.
Yeah.
Right.
The first hack of a Roomba was like, actually, I don't know if that's true. Let me see.
As soon as they put a gun on top of that dog robot, it's over.
It's Rover.
Robot.
Bad pun.
Comes at me, I'm sending the rabbit after it. Cut the cord. It'll be fine. It'll be over. Nature will win.
If I had a robot, I'd want it like Lex's. That's why I'm like best friends with Lex, because of his personality. He's just a little bit morally wrong, but he's doing it like he's doing it for a good, for a good reason.
But I have standards. I can explain my standards.
Right. This is a little bit of out of left field, but what do you think the next Matrix movie is about?
Ooh.
Quantum internet.
Do we just all learn what a quantum internet is? Is that what we keep saying?
Oh, yeah.
No, is it?
Cool.
A quantum internet, it both is and isn't at the same time.
Oh,
so
it's a Schrodinger cat internet.
All the ones are zeros and ones, and yet not.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, the only time I ever heard that is like that seems like theoretically the only thing that can hack Bitcoin, right? That's the only time I've ever heard about a quantum computer is that might be an ability to hack Bitcoin someday in the future, in the far future, but that's how smart a thing it is.
It's like a way of exchanging information by teleportation.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what I heard first, haunted internet, not quantum internet. But these concepts don't necessarily, they're not a Venn diagram here.
Right.
So there's teleportation, everything but ectoplasm so far is what I'm hearing.
It's like you're not wrong.
It
kind of is.
The Matrix 4 is about a ghost in the Matrix that is not there. I like it.
Actually, I'll tell you about it later. I was gonna tell you about it. Like, I have like a little equation on LinkedIn, and it's like super simple, but there's a piece missing. And if somebody could figure out the piece, I think it's because
they'll marry you.
Huh?
They'll marry you. That's like your Prince Charming. If they could figure out the code.
No, I was just dating a mathematician, and I couldn't fucking stand him.
All right, fair enough.
Dude, for real, my mom's an IRS agent. If you can math, you don't have a personality. There's just a defect.
Yeah, maybe. Probably. I hate saying that, but I haven't seen evidence to the contrary.
I like people who call math like in plural. Sorry, I thought your phone was a little choppy and I talked over you. I apologize.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I like when people call maths. You know, like I do maths.
Maths.
It's like that. Yeah. It's not American, but I like it. Yeah, they don't say it in America, but like in Europe, they'll say, yeah, exactly. So they're doing it right, and they're like, I like to play sport. I like that. I like those people too.
You like when they change the plural?
Yeah, it's just a little curveball where it's like, wait, what are you talking about? I just want to be like, huh? It makes me turn my head like a dog instantly.
I didn't grow up loving math. I grew up being like okay at it, but I think like the times that I loved it is when there was like cartoons involved. Like, do you remember the Donald Duck short about math, and it's all about geometry and pool balls?
And if you watch it on YouTube with the captions on, the captions say swear words.
What? Shawn, see if you can look that up. I'm kind of curious.
All right.
Yeah, I forget how deep into it is, but I did this recently because I wanted to relearn math. And so I was watching it's Donald Duck on YouTube. If you turn on the caption, it'll say swear words eventually because it doesn't know what Donald is saying.
That's fucking wild. Speaking of Donald, be sure to visit your local Trump Tower and just see if you can connect to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Take a screenshot. We'll frame it.
That seems dangerous.
No, it's dangerous.
Favorite cartoon duck. Favorite cartoon duck for me was Daffy Duck, but the original Daffy Duck, where he was more of a Bugs Bunny type character. Just
yeah.
This looks like a what's that movie? The Emperor's New Groove. That part, or it looks like something.
Yeah, I think that. Yep, I know what you're saying.
Well, here's the math. Here's the math stuff. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much the old version of that. Definitely.
I think it's when Daffy Duck. I mean, it's when Donald Duck talks though, because he can't understand him.
This is pretty cool. I never saw this shit.
Easter egg.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would love it, actually.
Yeah. Well,
maybe
I'll scour it later for the swear word.
Yeah, we'll have to do it on our own.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna let you guys get to it.
Thanks, Valerie. Thanks for popping in. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
We had a great time.
That was super fun. Look up quantum internet. Thanks, Christine. Bye.
All right.
Oh,
Change your algorithm.
Change
your algorithm.
Yeah.
Change your algorithm.
For whatever you need to remind yourself to buy.
Oh, wait, Valerie, before you leave, real quick.
Yeah.
I think you'll be interested in this. I am trying to be better at math.
Okay.
By just having people give me 2 3-digit numbers and then me guessing what the answer is, multiplied together.
Okay.
I'm just going to try to get good at math by guessing. And wrong and continually trying to guess.
Okay.
The horseshoes of math.
333 plus 999.
Wait, what is it?
333 and 999.
Okay. The answer is 297, 22.
All right, cool.
How close am I?
Let's see.
Okay. The answer, I forget what number I gave, but the answer is 332,667. What number did I say?
You said 290,000.
Yeah, you gotta think bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta get out of the box, man.
I'm gonna keep trying. I'm convinced that I'm gonna get good at math just by trying and failing.
Dude, I kind of think you are. Like,
you know what? I say give it a shot.
See how it could work because you're integrating with Google.
Yeah, it might take me 5 years to get good at math, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it did in school, right?
Yeah. All right, Valerie, have a good day.
All right, have a good one. Take care. Smoke it up, Christine. Bye.
We'll see you.
Okay, thanks for having.
All right.
I'll tell you a robot that I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want a robot that came in and just started berating you and telling you all the things you didn't get done that day.
Yeah.
But maybe someone needs a motivation robot.
Maybe.
No, he's not motivational. He's more like, like he's saying all the bad things that you say in your head, but he's just saying it out loud to you.
A robot?
Yeah, a real negging robot.
It's a scoff bot.
Scoff bot.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna put out something. I have a shelf that I need to re-put. See how I patched my wall there? I need to rehang a shelf. I'm gonna try to do that this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
How big a shelf are you looking for?
What's that?
What's the size of that? What's the size?
Oh, it's like 4 feet long.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have like a lumber place or like a recycle, creative reuse kind of store?
Yeah. You should go find a nice lump of wood.
I have.
Yeah.
I have the shelf.
That's the shelf that broke. That's the shelf that broke. Throw that away. Get a new shelf. Reuse
Go Yeah. Go throw out that shelf and find, and then while you're throwing that out, go garbage pick a new shelf.
Or start trading it on the Craigslist and then see what you can get bigger and then bigger and then bigger. You just start with your 4-foot shelf.
I just want to hang this. That's it.
How about this? Just hang it. Go ahead, Jay.
I said we need to put Christine in touch with Yancey about this trading up thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Have you
seen? He's all about the trades.
Have you seen that guest of ours?
It sounds familiar. Tell me more.
Well, he lives in Colorado, and he just brokers trades amongst people. Of like, he finds people who have something that they need to get rid of, and it's like, oh, what do you want? And then he finds somebody who needs that thing. But there's usually like 4 or 5 people involved.
Yeah. It gets more complicated than necessary, but it seems like people who do it are doing it more. So,
right.
However way it's working.
And it
when you say Colorado, that's the part that makes sense.
And it kind of sounds fake, but I don't think it's fake. I think he really does it.
Yeah. I do think he does it. He's just out there. He's really out there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while I'll chat with him. He's a character, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey Shawn, why don't you just hang up the shelf upside down? And then just see what happens from there. Go from there.
Oh, okay.
Like totally upside down?
Yeah, just mix it up and then from there see what you have to do to make it work. Give yourself an extra problem, and then maybe it'll force you to create something new.
Or
I like that.
Do all of the things that would be on the shelf anyway to it while it's upside down.
Yeah.
And never say anything about it.
Yeah, or you could take other stuff from other parts of the shelf, like other shelves that you don't really use all the time.
Right.
So you could pick and choose and then glue it, So it doesn't have to be what you would have normally put on that shelf, but you could make a shelf hang up upside down.
Well, I need to put my video projector on there, so that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then just do that, but put it upside down.
I'll try that.
Not the projector.
I will. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I like the idea of giving myself a challenge, and I don't know if we've talked about this, Lex. I think I brought it up with Ralph, but Jamie Foxx said in an interview that he purposefully has things in his house that don't work correctly. Like he has a faucet that when you turn it on, it sprays water on the wall. So he has to it also works regularly, but he does it so he has to sort of keep his mind active.
Sure, yeah, the muscle memory.
He doesn't want his house perfect.
Yeah, interesting.
Which I think is, and that came about because he was talking about how he was hanging out with Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy has his life is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought was pretty good. So I will try. I will try to hang this up upside down.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a fun thing. After I said it, I think I might do that too. Yeah. So you do whatever you're going to do normally, just throw an extra little challenge in, make it creative. Yeah. Like next time I poop, I'm going to sit backwards on the toilet. See what happens. See what kind of mess I get myself into.
With your girlfriend first. I think
fair enough.
Let her know that you're doing that.
Just tell her you're gonna do it.
And then let her leave the house. There's a quarantine situation that should happen, but I think that there should be.
Yeah.
I say tell her you're gonna do it.
Yeah, just let her know.
Yeah.
Just let her know ahead of, hey, I'm gonna take a shit facing backwards. Give me an extra 5. Don't just give me a 5-minute cushion just in case.
Right. All right. Well, we have 20 minutes left. What have we not covered this episode, I guess? Does anybody have anything burning that they want to cover that we haven't covered?
I mean, I have my cricket, but now that Valerie told me that it could haunt me, and it's gonna be the machine that kills me. I'm a little afraid to use it. People can hack into a Roomba. They can definitely hack into a Cricut.
What's a Cricut?
It is a cutting machine.
Oh.
See, it's like a printer, but it's got a blade. So I've already on robot.
What is it?
It's already dangerous.
What does it cut?
It can make appliques for like shirts and everything. It can make all vinyl stuff, cut out vinyl and everything. And that's only the tiny one. They sell like a huge one. Yeah.
Jason, are you getting one? How do you know about all this?
They're cool. I've thought about getting a Cricut. But I have 2 friends now that have Cricuts, so there's no need for me. I can just send them T-shirts and be like, "Hey, want to make
Cricut this? Cricut yourself.
Shirts."
Well, Jason,
Yeah.
what do you have that friends need? Maybe if you don't have a Cricut, maybe you need to get something that other people need.
Listen,
Engage
real bit.
in
Sorry.
the trade, my man.
Yeah.
It's gonna. I'm almost certain it's gonna happen in a second, but my phone is gonna die and it's not attached. So we're about to lose you, or I'll just let it blank out if it does. We'll let it run.
Say something important now while you can, before you get kicked off.
Chocolate pizza.
Think
about it.
Was crazy.
But Jason,
that video was crazy that you sent about the bees.
What?
The bee video that you sent me about the guys.
The bee video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Play it. Jason, can you play it?
I don't know if I can. I'll see.
Was that in Messenger? I forget.
I'm on a new phone, so I'm still learning how to use the iPhone.
Well, I'll say this about chicken pizza. Do you guys know CC's Pizza?
No.
Like an all-you-can-eat buffet pizza place.
Okay.
And
like Pizza Hut used to be.
Yeah, but it's like they have dessert pizza. Anyway, some people trash their pizza. I think it's good.
Okay.
They have dessert pizza there.
Oh wow!
Okay. What would be on a dessert pizza?
Like cinnamon and chocolate.
Okay.
Interesting, Shawn. I also person named Cece yesterday. This is just weird correlations between all of our days yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
You was at the concert?
Yeah. There was a Cece at the concert that I met.
Oh.
Hanging out with Uncle Steve?
Steve.
How are you just meeting? What's the situations?
This is why I liked hanging out with Jay when I was a kid, because he would just meet people.
Yeah.
And we'd go to a place, I could be socially inept, and he would just be like, hey, there's 3 new friends.
That's
Yeah.
I found the bee video.
Oh, there it is. Yes.
Yeah, I think this is what I ate. I think they mixed this in with like eggs.
Roasted beehive.
Bee larvae. Yeah, bee larvae.
It's like custard, right?
Is there honey?
Yeah. No, but it did have a sweet. There was still like a sweetness, but like I said, it still tasted like bug, whatever that means, like dirty, like earthy, not dirty, but earthy. It was weird. It was weird, but it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad.
I mean, it's all natural.
It's so funny. My girlfriend, we started watching that. And I started watching more bug eating videos, and my girlfriend will look over my shoulder sometimes and go, aroy, which means like she'll go delicious. She'll see bugs and go, oh, delicious.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, I want to try. She sees those big, like chunky ones, and she just thinks it would be delicious.
Yeah.
And you don't think that says anything about you as a man?
No, I think it's great. I think it's I find it interesting that people, like it's a taste that she's used to, I guess. So she's like into it, or she knows what to expect.
Yeah.
It's like durian fruit out here. Durian fruit. It does grow on you. The more I smell it, the more I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like driving in farmland and smelling manure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like at first it's shocking and a little gross, but then I don't know, there's something like pleasing about being
it there is whatever that is. Yeah.
But it's something that I wouldn't want
to raise your standards without taste.
What's that?
So I think you need to raise your standards for smells and tastes. Everybody.
Hey, listen, that's a good place to find some good mushrooms. So I'm a fan of horse and cow shit.
For sure.
Oh, Lex.
Yes.
We just inoculated some bags.
We just what?
Inoculated some bags.
What does that mean? Oh,
he just put some spores into some mycelium. Yeah, she's going to grow some mycelium.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I need some. I need some more.
Have you guys ever heard of Organic Galaxy?
No.
He's from Cincinnati. He's a friend of mine. Tobias is his name, and he does all kinds of mushroom research, growing. His whole story is fascinating. He took a trip in which the mushrooms told him he was their protector and helper, and so now he's dedicated his entire life to mushrooms.
Wow.
And there was something about like a government contract where he like discovered which kind of mushroom saved like a third of food population in the United States from mixing it with the soil or something.
Right.
He'd be a cool guest, actually.
That'd be great. Put him in touch with us, please.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yo,
I was just listening to Paul Stamets on Rogan again for no reason except that it's so enjoyable. Go, Jay.
I totally believe that when you grow mushrooms, if you grow mushrooms, like you should try to hang out with them and everything, and like give them good vibes and everything.
Totally.
Dude, the first mushrooms that I grew with you on my back, dude, those mushrooms were like so big and they were so like good. And like they were such.
Me too. The first time I grew, when I grew in Brooklyn, and I remember I talked to him and I babied him, and it took an extra month to grow because I started it too soon. It was a little too cold, and man, they were so enjoyable. And I feel like they were the most the best experience. Like there was a connection. There's definitely a connection, which is so interesting.
Hey, Jason, could we? Because you just started this process, can we get Valerie to maybe, and of course this is if Valerie agrees, can we get her to sort of write out the LinkedIn equation that she's talked about, and we can hang them up near
the mushrooms? Yes.
Like maybe
brilliant.
Maybe it'll create an answer. You know what I mean? You know?
Ooh, let's do it. I'll do it.
I like it.
Send her a message, or
Also, I'm going to put it out there. I'll put this out there this week.
Okay.
I would love to talk to anybody who's willing to give, not willing, but like real scientists who might be working with psychedelics and animals.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna make that happen.
Yeah.
Like anybody who gives acid to dolphins or ayahuasca to chimps.
We need to. Yeah.
I do not have that in my pocket. What I do have in my pocket is my cousin, who her whole research is about how people react during intoxication, whether it be alcohol or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And to test things like one of the things that is consistent in her research is like, if you are smashed when you study for a test, you should be smashed when you take the test, because your brain remembers that in that state.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So
if those people that drunk drive the car in the controlled situation with codes.
What?
No.
I don't know.
He's saying if you want to be a good drunk driver, you should practice first.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Yeah, I mean, in a controlled setting.
Yeah, but if you get really good at it, then you can leave. That's what he. Right. No, we're not.
Yeah,
obviously advocating.
Well, we have 10 minutes left. I don't know. I feel like I have nothing left to add. I mean,
I'm satisfied, and I feel like I'm going to lose the phone anyway. So we could, if we want to wrap it up, we could do that.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's plug some stuff before we go.
Okay.
Okay.
We got a new show coming out on the 18th.
September.
Right?
Yeah.
September 18th. We also have a show coming out on September 25th. The figure length thing. What else do we have? We have a reoccurring Monday night show for the Tiny Cupboard.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to be on that, hit us up. That's live on stage and in front of an audience.
Yeah.
What do you got, Christy?
My brother just opened a Indiana, Pennsylvania's only CBD and DH8 store. It's called Buddy's Bud Co.
Cool.
It is on Instagram at Buddy's Bud Co. The model for the page, the icon, whatever. It's my other brother's dog, Buddy, is the inspiration. So if you like things that are cute and you like being a little bit intoxicated, that would be the place to go.
Nice.
Good.
Shawn, you got any shows?
I'm doing a show tonight at the Producers Club.
Cool.
But I was asked to bring 2 people, and 2 people bought tickets. So, I mean, I feel like if you want to go to it, message me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I've done my work about, I don't know.
Sure.
But
if you're in the area and you want to see a show.
Yeah. So. Message me. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. I miss you guys. Love you. Hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good times too for giving me real New York weed.
Ooh.
Oh, I want to shout out to JD Era because we haven't had him in a while, but I listened to his music again this week.
Oh.
He popped in my head, and he's so dope. So dope.
Yeah.
If people don't know him, he's a great a rapper from Toronto.
Yeah. Let's get him back.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
love everybody.
Good work, everybody.
Yeah. Have a great weekend. Have an enjoyable Stoner morning.
Yeah.